Hey guys, Cosmic here. I've got a PvP match for all of you in the Object 187, the new Tier 7 Premium MBT. Now, this tank, if you haven't tried it out yet, is a lot of fun. It's got a hull traverse speed, which is very fast. It is just a pleasure to dance and wiggle when you're trying to trade shots, and it's got a hard-hitting gun. So it's really anything you could ask for. But I actually don't want to talk about the 187. What I'd like to talk about is some of the statistics that have been published about the high tier balance, state of the balance, and what are going to be the changes made. So, as basically all of us kind of knew, the Armada and the Abrams have been ruling tier 10 MBT play. What I'm not sure if all of us knew, though, was that the T-15 actually can be very oppressive as well. And in fact, in the statistics amongst the best players, the T-15 has the highest win rate of a 59.35%. Even higher than the Armada, which everyone has kind of assumed to be the king of Tier 10. So in response, Mail.ru is going to be changing some of the balance. They're going to be nerfing both the Armada and the Abrams. But not the T-15. Nor some of the other very powerful tanks, such as, say, the Evo, which is a Tier 8 MBT, the Leopard 2A4 Evolution, which can hold its own in Tier 10 games, even. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, because there's definitely more than one tank which needs a little bit of a nerf or a little bit of a buff. Anyhow, for the changes specifically, the T-14 is going to have a turret ring which takes a little bit more damage, because there's apparently an issue with that, which is good. Its camo factor will be reduced, which is also good, because it is an enormous tank, and its camo and vision range, in my opinion, are just too good. And across the board, MBTs have both too good camo and too good vision range. They really shouldn't be outspotting scouts, or else what's the point of a scout if you're going to be able to do that? And then, very significantly, the Armada is going to lose its 35% bonus damage when penetrating thick armor. This is pretty big, because with that bonus damage, if you hit the lower front plate of an MBT, you could hit for 900, 1,000 damage. So this is really going to bring down some of that DPS that it has. Next up there is the Abrams. Now, the Abrams is going to be nerfed in a very strange way. It's going to be given a choice of either a 2-shot 120mm or a 1-shot 140mm. Now, I really don't actually like this prospect, because part of why the Abrams really works, in my opinion, is because it's gun. You have this awkwardness within the mobility of it, but you have a hard-hitting 1-2 punch. And maybe the 120mm will still have more or less the same penetration, just a little bit less damage, but if it does have less penetration, then that's going to be a really big hit to it. And personally, I'm not a fan of balance changes which completely remove types of play. I think it's performing a little bit too well, but at the same time, I feel like the Leopard and Challenger 2 really need a buff in this case, as opposed to just nerfing these two. The other two just need a little bit of a boost. And, you see, the reason why I really dislike it, this kind of change, is if it does remove, basically, the viability of the two-shot clip, then you kind of kill the interesting dynamic you've created with Abrams. Abrams were the only tanks which were able to track someone with one shot and then do a penetrating damage shot. And that gave them a very unique niche, a very unique role. So, we'll see. I really dislike this, especially since the Abrams has plenty of weak points, and so you can deal with it. Armada also has weak points, but its weak points were significantly harder to deal with. So, I don't know. We'll have to see exactly how they plays, how they implement it, but I am a little bit cautious about this. Another buff that they're putting in, or rather, they are putting in a buff in this upcoming patch, patch 0.21, and patch 0.21 will have a camo buff on the T-Series, excluding the Armada. On one hand, I understand that they're short tanks, they're physically much smaller, but I am a little bit cautious, because again, I think MBTs are just overperforming right now with the current meta, with the current balance, and scouts and tank destroyers have their niche, they need to have a reason to exist, and the clips gave them a little bit more damage, but the problem for them is the survivability. They don't have the ability to bounce shots like MBTs. Anyhow, those are just my 2 cents on the matter. I'd really like to go ahead and see scouts and AFVs to see a lot more play and be brought back into the game, because right now MBTs are just a little too oppressive. Anyhow, that's just my thoughts on the matter. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, it's been awesome. Catch you next time.